சௌக்கியா என்றொரு சௌபாகியம் நாம் பெற்றிடச் செய்தோம் பெரும் பாக்கியம். உணர்வது தானே வாழ்வின் கதி. சௌக்கியம் ஒரு சௌபாகியம் நாம் பெற்றிடச் செய்தோம் பெரும் பாக்கியம். தத்தளித்தோம் சத்பாவம் இன்றே.
அத்தனையும் கற்பூரமாய் எரிய ஆன்ம பொருள்தான் சௌக்கியமாய் மிளிர.
அத்தனையும் கற்பூரமாய் எரிய ஆன்ம பொருள்தான் சௌக்கியமாய் மிளிர. சௌக்கியம் ஒரு சௌபாகியம் நாம் பெற்றிடச் செய்தோம் பெரும் பாக்கியம். அறுத்திடும் அகந்தை விலங்கை தான்.
ஏற்றிடு ஒளி சமுதாயத்திலே பணியாற்றிடு ஆன்ம உணர்வினிலே.
ஏற்றிடு ஒளி சமுதாயத்திலே பணி ஆற்றிடு ஆன்ம உணர்வினிலே. சௌக்கியாயில் ஒரு சௌபாகியம் நாம் பெற்றிடச் செய்தோம் பெரும் பாக்கியம். எள்ளளவும் இல்லை சோகம் ஓய்வாய்.
வாரி வழங்கும் வானாய் கள்ளமில்லா சிந்தை அதுவே தானாய்.
வள்ளலென வாரி வழங்கும் வானாய் கள்ளமில்லா சிந்தை அதுவே தானாய். சௌக்கியாயில் ஒரு சௌபாகியம் நாம் பெற்றிடச் செய்தோம் பெரும் பாக்கியம். சௌக்கியாயென்றொரு சௌபாகியம் நாம் பெற்றிடச் செய்தோம் பெரும் பாக்கியம். சௌக்கியா என்றொரு சௌபாகியம் நாம் பெற்றிடச் செய்தோம் பெரும் பாக்கியம்.
உற்றிடுவோம் ஓர் உண்மை நிதி, தன்னை உணர்வதுதானே வாழ்வின் கதி.
உற்றிடுவோம் ஓர் உண்மை நிதி, தன்னை உணர்வது தானே வாழ்வின் கதி. சௌக்கியா என்றொரு சௌபாகியம் நாம் பெற்றிடச் செய்தோம் பெரும் பாக்கியம்.
எத்தனை பிறவி, எத்தனை உடல்கள் தத்தளித்தோம் சத்பாவம் இன்றி.
எத்தனை பிறவி எத்தனை உடல்கள் தத்தளித்தோம் சத்பாவம் இன்றி.
அத்தனையும் கற்பூரமாய் எரிய ஆன்ம பொருள்தான் சௌக்கியமாய் மிளிர.
அத்தனையும் கற்பூரமாய் எரிய ஆன்ம பொருள் தான் சௌக்கியமாய் மிளிர. சௌக்கியா என்றொரு சௌபாகியம் நாம் பெற்றிடச் செய்தோம் பெரும் பாக்கியம். உணர்ந்தவரவரில் உள்ளொளிதான் அறுத்திடும் மகந்தை விலங்கை தான்.
ஏற்றிடு ஒளி சமுதாயத்திலே பணியாற்றிடு ஆன்ம உணர்வினிலே.
ஏற்றிடு ஒளி சமுதாயத்திலே பணி ஆற்றிடு ஆன்ம உணர்வினிலே. சௌக்கியா என்றொரு சௌபாகியம் நாம் பெற்றிடச் செய்தோம் பெரும் பாக்கியம்.
உள்ளொளி பெருகும் உன்னத வாழ்வாய் எள்ளளவும் இல்லை சோகம் ஓய்வாய்.
உள்ளொளி பெருகும் உன்னத வாழ்வாய் எள்ளளவும் இல்லை சோகம் ஓய்வாய்.
எள்ளலன வாரி வழங்கும் வானாய் கள்ளமில்லா.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கங்கள். நமஸ்தே. வெல்கம் all of you. Welcome Vivan. Namaste to Vivan. Good afternoon. Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good, thank you.
What is your percentage of anger now? Has it come down?
Has your anger come down? Yes.
Has it come down?
Yes.
Oh, another chutti is there. How is her anger now? Vivan, is she also angry?
It's more than Vivan.
She's a smiling baby.
See, your smile reveals completely it no trace of anger in you. Am I right, everyone? Your broad smile on your face, the
Yes,
broad
it's-
smile I see on your face shows that completely you are in a jovial mood all the time, happy mood, right?
Yes.
Fine.
Guruji,
We
Vivan
will
wants to
straight
ask
away
you a
get into the
question.
subject. So have you
Guruji,
been doing the last 14 days, 7 days, 14, 15 sessions here and
Yes.
there with some shortcomings?
Yes.
Persistence gives reward. Your Shraddha. Shirdi Sagoba calls it as Shraddha Zikr, perseverance.
Guruji, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. He has a question. Yeah. Please go ahead. Once again, let me record. I've not started recording it. Yeah. Now I had switched it on. Start, Vivan. What's your question?
Guruji, I learn at school in the Bible. They say God is in heaven. We learn that. But when I ask my mom, my mom tells me that God is within us. Can you please tell me where is God?
Where is God? Yeah. See, Bible says about Jesus. Jesus is also a God. God in form. God in physical appearance. God in physical appearance is Vivan. But in our way, we really see the God because God has hid himself. He veiled himself. He covered himself. He closeted himself in our deep sleep state. You know the meaning of deep sleep state? You slept yesterday night, no?
Yes.
Yeah, that time you are shining in God. Your whole being was immersed, throbbing, godliness. But here, when Vivan gets a doubt, when Vivan listens to something from external, Vivan comes into the picture. Who is Vivan? A Vivan by name is God in form, God with form. Because what is God without form? Do things exist in space? Or where do they exist? Even the stars, sun, moon, all the planets, trees, earth, oceans, big mountains. Do these things? We are all existing in?
Yes, those are all made by God.
We are all made by God. See, it is like, where do we all exist? In empty space, no? Your mummy is sitting in empty space. You are sitting in empty space. You, through your eyes and your physical feelings, you see your mummy, you relate with her. God surrounds us like space. If you really want to feel God, if you really want to taste God, you will have to merge in empty space. How to merge in empty space? How to become empty space? That is what all are learning now through Saukyaa. It is like merging in empty space is like absolute realization of God, absolute feeling of God. Otherwise, only words. Are you satisfied with words, or do you really want to taste God? You tell me, Vivan.
Both.
You want both to know, you want to see, and you want to taste, you want to touch, you want to hear, listen. all five sensations that have to take place, no?
Yes.
When you really, what is really feeling God? All five sensations through which we should feel His existence, God's existence, no? Isn't it?
Yes, yes, Guruji.
So real God is inside, behind his feelings, behind Vivan's question, behind Vivan's the very question of where is God, where is he existing. The question is asked by Vivan's mind. You get this?
Yes.
So who asked you the question? You know. You
Yes.
means what? Your question is made up of a thought.
Yes.
Really. So he is the basis of your thinking. He is the basis of all your five sensations. Such a God only never goes away at all. He never leaves us. He has always been with us. He is ourselves. There is no he. There is no ourselves. The merger constantly is taking place. That is what we are practicing here. The feel, the taste, the listening, the seeing. You want, see, you be greedy. You be greedy, trying to feel in all the ways the existence of God. You should see him. You should taste him. You should listen to him. He sings. Whenever a cuckoo sings, it is God's voice. Even a dog's bark, it's God's voice. A lion's roar, isn't it God's voice?
Yes.
So everything must be God's voice. But he has such a capacity to express himself through various living beings, including animals, insects, earthworms, all the things. So we see God everywhere, but to feel God, but to be God, to taste God, they are all listening to Guruji and they are all trying to see him within themselves. Your mummy, your grandma, grandpa, Madam Vaidehi, everyone. You got it? He is already you. I am teaching you how to taste him, how to see him, how to feel him, how to touch him. All the things I want you to enjoy. Living in God, merging in God. Okay?
Yes.
You got your answer?
Understood?
Yes.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji.
Okay, fine.
Thank
Do
you,
you want to
Guruji.
say something? Thank you, man.
You have anything
Do
to
you want
say?
to say something? Do you want to say something on this? Are you satisfied?
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Thank you. Through Vivan, the world gets to know everything. He is the prime disciple. He is the number one disciple, foremost Pratama disciple. They call Pratama Mandiri, no? Prime Minister. In the same way, he is the Pratama disciple. Vivan is the Pratama disciple. Okay?
He always has so many
Fine.
questions, Guruji. Sometimes I tell him, you ask
Yeah.
Guruji. He'll give you better answer.
Yes. Please make him to ask questions because he is ripe and rich with the potency of everything.
Yes.
It has to express itself. It will express itself. Such a beautiful being. It's flowering. The way of flowering is only through questions. Doubting. Doubting everything. Doubting our own existence is the final climax. The doubting of our own existence or our own being is the ultimate climax in this. That is what is called as self-inquiry. Doubt on the self, the existence of a separate being. How this fellow has come into existence? What is he made up of? How does he see? What is that capacity of seeing through his eyes or through his thoughts or feelings? How do these things happen in him? All these things are actually the investigation or inquiry. So he is already ripe and rich. Where else it will go? Everything in a seed form with Bhuvan. So encourage him. So whenever he asks doubts or questions, please do make it to note it down and
Sure,
make
Guruji.
him remember per week one question from Bhuvan. Okay?
Okay, Guruji.
That will set the ball rolling of Saukyaa.
Yes, yes. I'm sure he'll be very glad to ask.
Yeah. He's a blessed child, man. Absolutely
Thank you,
blessed child. God sent child. God himself has descended in the form of Vivan. Yeah. Which he wants to know. Go and look at the mirror, you will find God. You immediately want to see God? You now see the monitor. One who is sitting in the middle, little Buddha. He is that Lord. Lord of Bible, Lord of Quran, Lord of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Buddha. Huh? No doubt for this week. Shall I commence for others? You also
Yes,
join
Guruji. Yes, please.
joyfully, graciously grace the occasion. Okay, shall we go? We will go. We will go to the next practice, the fourth one. See, everything is given in a form of a way or method or technique. Actually, it is methodless, but to use a word, to title it, I will have to place it as a technique. This is the fourth technique we are going to see. We had seen 3. Now this is the fourth one. Self-inquiry technique 4. Inquiry in the sense, the way Vivan has taken us now. He started inquiring himself as to what in that school the teacher has said about Jesus and Bible. So they are all evidently available outside. But where is he? For me, where is he? As an individual, where does he exist? This has been the question. He has started for an answer within himself, and that has come out for all the benefit of us, for benefit of all of us. It has come to the Saukyaa. Okay.
Guruji, we can't see.
You can't see? You must be able to see,
No,
because
we
now
can't
it will change. You wait. The next slide will come. Yeah. See, this we can never lose sight of. See, we are made up of these 5 sheets. In English, they call it as sheets. Sheets means just like pillow covers or onion that we peel. How the onion skin is peeled off. In the same way, each cell of us contains a message, DNA message in the form of trillion invisible part of mind. Each cell contains this. That is why when birth happens, it happens through a single cell. Immediately the replication process takes place in mother's womb. So maximum around 270 days to 300 days, the full grown child is formed. Trillions of cells already. And for a grown up man, it is judged that about 40 trillions of cells are making his physical organism. Though each cell, each speck of space also has mind in it. That we call it as cosmic mind. The same cosmic mind in a human being, it creates these 5 levels of skins or sheaths. The first is the causal body. This is the cause it is. Why it is called as causal? Because no one has ever inquired who is he, what is he, why is he. Have you ever asked this question? Have any one of us asked this question ever? Not at all. To get this question, we should have been fortunate enough. Out of selfless service only, this kind of a question dawns in a human being. It must be the final birth before liberation. What is liberation or what is enlightenment? What is self-realization? Which self is realizing what? Normally, we are made up of these 5 elements, 5 sheets. One upon the other is veiling itself. The next level is the second one, that is the Vijnanamaya Kosha, made up of intellect. This springs into action during our waking state. The second one comes into action in our waking state and in dream state also. 2, 3, 4. These 2, 3, 4. Third is the Manomaya Kosha. And fourth is the Pranamaya Kosha, the principle of life. Life principle. Life principle through breathing, through prana. Prana means life-giving principle. Which every breath, mind makes the breathing going on in a physical body. Prana fills the cosmos, though it fills everywhere, but in a being, it has to work as a mind through thought patterns, through individually undergoing experiences in the form of good and bad, pleasure and pain, papa and or punya, highly, lowly, so many things, rich and poor, even birth and death. Physical examples are, dualities are day and night, man and woman. They are all physical. Behind every physical thing, there is the play of cosmic mind. Cosmic mind or our mind filled with thoughts or feelings or emotions, they never leave this cosmos. When upon the grace of the Supreme Lord or the Self itself, one starts getting all these questions, doubting about his own being. Why am I thinking constantly? Why at all? Should I not live without thoughts? Because thoughts come and shake one completely, uproot one, make one to suffer. For a momentarily, it makes one pleasurable. Most of the time, sorrowful, painful, expectations. Expectations don't get fruitful at all. Likes and dislikes, all sorts of dualities, all these things are there without a form in the cosmic mind. The moment I use the word cosmic, it actually is the cosmos itself. Cosmos is the physical manifestation, but underneath, beneath it is the cosmic mind, which doesn't have a form. Unless you speak a word, no one will come to know. Even you will not know that you thought about this speech or this sentence unless you speak it out. Now we are at the point, Saukyaa teaches, Saukyaa guides everyone how to get over beyond emotions, beyond thoughts. All the time we think, we jump into thinking. It's like a mechanical reaction. Thoughts immediately through the contact of all the five senses with the external world, judging about someone or listening to someone's some autocratic way of behaving, adamant way of behaving. So all these things immediately perturbs one and it stirs the feelings in one. Immediately reactionary feelings surge in one and they produce thoughts, inner chatter. We might get angry, but it cannot be expressible at that moment. Whoever provoked you, how Vivan has asked, a little child, he did ask this question, how am I to control my anger? Same way, here, we don't know what is the way to, it is not the proper word, controlling, because we cannot control anything at all, because we are not at the mercy of this body. We think ourselves as this body. We think this body is thinking. This body has become angry. This body feels the pleasure, or this body undergoes pain. This body undergoes deception. But it doesn't undergo because it is a mass of inertia. Body doesn't undergo at all. That is why I had given this picture. We should never forget, because these are all basic charts. In the basic charts, these three are called the subtle, intellectual, mental, pranic bodies. 2, 3, 4. First is the primal causal body. It is made out of ignorance. Ignorance. What is that ignorance? Because when you get up only, you come into existence, as if only when one is awake, he feels that he is really living. And most of us, so mechanically we are thinking, the thinking process always goes on in us. So we tend to take ourselves to be a thinking machine, and we are thinkers. Only through thinking we are living. This is a kind of notion with which we live, isn't it? See, even for a body movement, walking a few steps, as if you will have to think about it. You are the thinker, and body is the thinker who, through thinking, he gets up and walks. Thinking makes him walk. Thinking makes him to act, do things, deeds. What is this kind of conditioning? It is also made in the, it is already made in the cosmic mind. And that cosmic mind takes the link of our ignorance. Through ignorance, immediately it spreads its tentacles through number 2, intellect, number 3, mind, number 4, the pranic body. This is only a monitor. 5th, gross physical body. Saukyaa focuses exclusively from here, from 3, not even 4, 3, 2, 1, reverse order. If this is the well-being of these 3, there is no well-being. Only we will come to realize that these 3 never existed. That is what is realization. A thought has no place anywhere in this cosmos except in a human being. Animals do not think, they live their emotions or feelings. They don't think. When a cuckoo sings, it is not even aware that it sings. It never knows cuckooing is happening through it. But why are we endowed with a separate faculty called the 3rd one, that is thinking mind, where language is formed, logic is there, reasoning is there, attitude is there, feelings are all made to get satisfied. Why do we live here? What do we expect here? We want to satiate ourselves. We want to undergo experiences. We seek happiness in things, in relationships, in speech, in seeing, in tasting, and all the more begetting children. That is also a kind of pleasure. That is also comes with the bodily tendencies. So everything is tendencies. That is why our jnanis or rishis, they have gone through all these things, especially 3, 2, 1 in the reverse order, because the purpose of these 2, 4 and 5 is to actually in one life, when he gets a human body, a viveki or an advanced disciple, one who wants to realize the truth or attain jnana, wisdom, he immediately starts his living straight away in probing about the thinker. If there is a thought, who has thought about it? Whose thought was it? Who thought that thought? Is it a form which has created that thought? Was it the form which thought about it? The physical form? Where is thinking happening? Where is listening happening now in you? Where is listening happening? Tell me.
It's happening in the mind.
It's
happening
in the mind. In the mind. Where can you show the mind? I can only see Purnima. I don't see any mind of her.
No,
there is
we
nothing
can't see
visible
it.
like mind.
No, we can't
unless
see it.
Unless you answered me, until and unless you answered me, I didn't see your mind. I was yet to see your mind. I was yet to get your answer. So always it is beneath, but it is the prime mover, isn't it? Your speech did not produce the mind. Your mind produced the speech.
Yes.
Are we clear?
Yes.
The subtle body, even prana is a subtle body. Vocal cords have to move. The rishis have seen 4 stages. The primary stage is, they call it as paravak, the innermost silence. Even silence they heard. That means they could still their mind and look at that silence. Even silence was not heard, silence was looked at. That's why we are going to deploy an eye, EYE, okay, inner eye. That will start growing within you just by gazing all the inner movements of the 3 koshas, especially this mind, intellect, and ignorance. What is this? Causal body is ignorance. The I, the feeling that I don't want this. Certainly I want this. I cannot live without this. Such a sort of an attachment that has happened already. So all these 3 things, unless the inner gaze is opened, unless one takes the advice or the hands of the realized and their guidance, this eye is never opened at all. And what is this inner eye? It doesn't have a form. You will have to culture it. You will have to cultivate it in sitting our just be. Through being just be, naturally the transcendence is also by and by taking place. Thoughts are pacified, subdued. You cannot control it because you are the thinker, you are the thoughts. How the mind itself can control the mind. So it cannot happen. This is how it happens. Now we will go to the next slide, and then these are all mandatory slides which should never be forgotten. These are all even beyond the invisible levels, field levels. Only it can be seen with an inner eye. That is what we are going to culture and cultivate. Here it is given as invisible, intangible, imperceivable, 2, 3, 4, plus this never existed at all. Ignorance, the causal body. Because deep sleep, no one knows what's happening. Still, we only underwent sleep. We had undergone sleep, but no one has ever realized except the realized people. Because deep sleep, like samadhi experience, or a state of 4th state of existence, the realized undergo. Even their existence, their life is nothing but the way of wisdom lives through their physical body also. They per se, they are not persons. They are the embodiment of very jnana, the foundation principle of the complete cosmos. The truth. Truth itself has descended as a realized person. So for such a level of thing, you are all graced. You had that grace of previous lives. It's a story which has been continuing eternally until one meets the realized. The realized comes and he shows that this is going on repetitively. Are you only these thoughts? Are you only living for these names and forms? And what are thoughts? They are projecting a lot of videos as well as audio stuffed in it. And the moment a video or audio has arisen in you, what happens? you are attacked. You lose yourself in those passing. Is there only everything is passing by within us, or does anything exist concretely like a witness? That's what we are going to see in this fourth technique. You will have to live this technique for the remaining 1 week. We will go to the next slide.
Okay.
This we have been showing all these 5 koshas, which were all fragmented, scattered, without an identity as I or me or mine or myself. But they are strengthened during when they get together with an identification through the physical body. Because we always refer ourselves through the body, even to think within us. See, they have not reacted properly. They have not shown the respect which was to be shown to us. All this kind of inner chatter going on, judgments going on, opinions going on, conclusions are all derived at. What do they all show? They show there is an inner being apart from this physical being, which independently, uncontrollably projects things, forming opinions, judgments, always in conflict or struggle within himself or within herself, isn't it? But outwardly, when we see a woman is walking by, a man is walking by, apparently seem to be nothing to worry, nothing bad. Inwardly, a lot of chaos is going on. Split, diverse within. That is how the cosmos is also. But this has been conditioned through this identifying with the physical body as I, me, mine, for me, by me, with me, mine, etc. That gains fully collected, gathered, comes as a single being for appearance from others' point of view. Yeah, he seems to be happy, but within him, he only knows he has been sad. He is feeling a lot of pain within himself. He doesn't know what to do. He is always caught in predicaments. So this kind of thing is going on. Whereas externally, if you see, a person is seemed to be a single person, whereas inwardly, the subtle body creates havoc in everyone's life. Okay. So these fragments only make up a man or a woman. Again, they disintegrate when he dies. Even for a third thought pattern to linger in you, in the background of your mind, only during those moments you are created. You think those thoughts, either you suffer or you feel you are blissful or pleasurable, and they also go away. Everything goes away. Everything happens for a moment, in a moment. Momentarily, these things happen and they go away. Everything goes away. And with the moving of thoughts, feelings, and emotions, time also moves by. Nothing stays permanent. Then what else are we to rely on to do a technique? That's what is given in this thing. But at the outset, we always say this, there is a thing formless, which is also limitless, unleaving, unarising, undisappearing, unstuck, non-related, unsupported, separationless, still, silent, blissful self of the deep sleep state. In deep sleep, we don't have, our existence did not have a form. We did not enjoy or suffer because there was no mind, there were no thoughts, there was no one, but still, like a dead corpse, we existed, but it was blissful. The same state without a form is the self, supreme self. Now, here it is the collection of so many past or future projections or ideas or conditioning, everything come together and form a single physical organism under a name and a form. Call it as man or woman with different roles, playing different roles with different types of moods and emotions. Only in forms people differ, but the content seems to be the same for whole of the humanity. Do you understand this point? All the 800 crore people of the earth, they fall into two categories, man and woman. Okay? Inwardly, is there anything called as a man's mind, man's thoughts, woman's feelings, man's feelings? There are no such differentiations. Subtle body is the same. Outer cover alone is changed in every birth. Accordingly, all the relationships are rewritten. At one time, he was a man. At another birth, he becomes a woman. Whoever was his relative in a different way, they also come into a different way. We never go away at all. We only change the body case of the mobile phone. Inner software is the same thing, the same binary units. 0 and 1 and makes the complete computer program. Okay, the same way. Now we go to the fourth technique. What have we given here? Can some of you read this?
With a watcher-less witness, like gaze deployed 24/7 in just to be, ferocity of the flow of thoughts, feelings drastically gets pacified.
Can you see your passing thought? Is it possible? Normally, if you start to see your own thought, then normally we tend to take it that the seer is also a thought, right?
Yes.
Seer as a thought objectifies another moving thought as an object and sees it. This is the kind of notion we have, right? Whatever inside is nothing but in the form of thinking or thoughts. Is this called controlling? It cannot be controlled. Same thing cannot control the other. Water cannot drive away its part of the same water, right? It cannot separate, water cannot separate itself. Some block, physical block has to be placed. Something else has to come in between to segregate even one tank. Isn't it? In the same way, within, we are introducing an I, E-Y-E. And you should assume in the beginning that he doesn't employ thinking to see. He is not a thought which says. Suppose Purnima watches her own thoughts. Assume that Purnima in a phantom-like form, okay, a phantom appearance, also stands by the side, away from her sofa, and sees closely within her mind, objectifies the whole movement of his mental content, her mental content, and watches it. In the same way, here, 24/7, normally, apart from sitting times, exclusively sitting times, you should take it yourself that in the beginning, with eyes closed, when you look at, there won't be any difference between the watcher and the watched. You get this? Thinker and the thoughts. But by and by, your focus on the witness side gathers power. It has to be cultivated. This witness-like gaze has to be cultivated. You understand this?
Yes.
Witness-like. Suppose you ask, we want to read aloud a chapter, you consciously listens to it, whatever he reads. Suppose if he makes a mistake grammatically or in the pronunciation, immediately you jump into the picture and say, no, again you read it here. If he mispronounces it, what do you say? No, this is how this has to be pronounced.
Yes.
For others, we are able to be like a witness and silently listen, silently see, silently feel without comment. Suppose you go to someone's house and they have called, in the sambar they have put double time salt, double dose salt. You will not jump out and saying, what is this? You will not yell at them. Whereas in your home, you have all the liberty. This is sambar. You shout at them. You have control there. What is that sort of control? You have that capacity. Similar way, to distance your own mind, you should develop this capacity of seeing. This is not the purpose of distancing it. When you make a person available within you, immediately the regular ferocity of the flow of thoughts will come down. It cannot behave in the same way. If there is an onlooker, if there is a CCTV camera, how will our behavior be? It will become gentle. At least it is shooting us freely. Let me give a dance. We will pose to that camera. Here, nothing of that sort, because we are always in the CCTV camera of the self. But it never shows the recorded version of it, because the science has never been shown to anyone. These were all kept very hidden, secret, as if to an advanced seeker, out of his anxiety and suffering, he should come and seek for this kind of knowledge. Then only it is told. Now we are bringing it to your hand, in your palm, in your mobile, these facts. What am I saying here is, this witness-like gaze, can you employ it right now for some moments?
Yes.
Immediately, just close your eyes. Within you, you assume there is a phantom-like figure. In its presence, your thoughts might arise or might not arise. Your feelings might arise or might not arise. We are not concerned about it. Just we are being there. This silent being, a witness-like being, never moves away. The focus is always on the subject of witness-like I, witness-like watcher-less watcher, seer, not on the moving thoughts or emotions or whatever the content that is happening in you. You don't create this person or deploy this person only to look at them. You are there only for this person. You remain as this person alone. Do it. When I ask you, you can open your eyes.
very, very slowly and gently with your palms. Warm up your face and with folded with your palms. Keep your palms on your both eyes. Inwardly open the eyes first and then open it without your palms on your face. The light should not enter immediately. This will bring down the flow of thoughts, emotions. It doesn't mean that you are controlling, because control will not help, because who is the controller? Controller should also be another thought, because we have no other means. Within our mind, we have only the instrument called thinking, feeling, or identifying as myself, or I am, by me, with me, myself, mine, my, all these things. Nothing else apart from this. And all these things are conditioned to the world of things as well as other human beings and the relationships we undergo with people as well as things. Nothing other than this. So for all these things to happen, the only medium is thought. Thought cannot control thought itself. Thinker cannot control the thinker. Thinker is also a thought. Thought is also a thinker. Thinker is a thought. Thought is a thinker. So by and by, the strength of thinking has to naturally come down, because we are not thinking machines. Do you all agree to this fact that the inner chatter has been going on everlastingly? Do you agree with this? Non-stop?
Yes.
So if you bring in a seer or a controller, he also must be one among the passing chatter, no?
Yes.
It is, we are actually fooling ourselves. If you want to see, you have collected water from a well or from a lake. You have gone on a picnic. Everyone has almost, they sat and they are relaxed, and you are bringing water from the lake, original water from the lake, to quench their thirst. They all played sufficiently. They are all exhausted. And when you go and step into the lake, immediately it is stirred, the water is stirred. The dirts get, they rise to the surface. The water becomes polluted with dirt. What do? Slowly you step away. Allow the water to settle down without dirt. Then let the clarified water come to the surface. Slowly, without even making any ripples. Slowly, you put your vessel or a jar or a tumbler or anything, mug, and you take the water from the surface. In the same way, we should sit in just be 2 times a day, morning and evening. Minimum half an hour, maximum any amount of your availability. No harm, nothing will be done. Very safe, very natural. And your whole day, the whole environment around you will look in, will give a different appearance to you. Because you are changing, you are getting clarified, you are getting more and more clarity. This clarity, you are not done anything with your mind to get it. The moment you try through your mind, you will be more polluted. More stars will get raked down. Not they'll get settled down. Okay. But on the contrary, you want to be just be the onlooker, the observer, the silent, the person who gazes, who deploys the silent gaze, just be gaze. He is an anonymous person, but you are cultivating him. By and by, he alone brings you liberation. Not only liberation in the sense not running out of family, facing everything. They call it love and war. Both are same, isn't it? The human love as well as war in the battlefield, they are the same. Here it is done with emotions. There it is done with weapons, ownership, isn't it? But they are in category, in reality, they both are same. They are all fight only. Here, the very instrument we are made up of is with which we live, with which we actually relate here with things or people, with our own self. Everything is judgment, everything is opinions, ideas. They cannot be settled just like that by chanting some mantra or controlling, or they're doing one type of dhyana or some sort of pranayama, and then some yogasana, some sitting posture, some isolation, going to some room, making all the persons to go away from home. Nothing of this sort will work out. We have to take things scientifically. Mind is a scientific illusion, scientific, bioorganic hard disk. What does your computer hard disk do? It automatically takes in through all your apps, whether it is Windows or Mac. You have all the Word program, then you have all the other programs, Excel, these, that, so many things. Whatever impression you make, create, it gets stored. Audio is there, video is there, different kinds of instruments. Everything is stored. In the same way, this has been happening because there is nothing other than this bioorganically recording hard disk. Other than this, there is nothing. This cosmos is. That alone is this cosmos. So it works through us. So first we have to know the nature of it. Its nature is this recording. Whatever you do or you don't do, it records. Whether you like or dislike, whether you want, whatever wanted thing, you get it or you don't get it. Everything is, your frustration is also recorded. Your satisfaction is also recorded. Everything is recorded. Minus is minus, plus is plus. Plus will be added on with pluses, minus will be added on with minuses. Minuses has to be nullified by minus only, plus will have to be nullified by minus only. Separate minus of that plus. Okay. So account is always running account. Never the account gets exhausted because nobody has explained how this mathematics is working, how this organic registering is working. No one knows how to delete it. Only a realized sage knows this truth. What he says, just be. Always be like a phantom witness. That's all. It will come down. Okay. So you, until the next class, you take it sincerely with earnest interest. Even eyes wide open, you can do during your course of other day-to-day course. Also, you can take it up. Other than these 2 sittings minimum, 3 or 4 sittings, if you are available with yourself, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You will start enjoying these sittings because it is the real person who is going to open in you, arise in you. You will have to take interest in him because he cannot be found anywhere in your relationship, in the books, in the external world, because it is your own you. That is what is they call it as the supreme self, Atma. Atma means not a mystic, feetless, smoky, angelic or demon-like, nothing of this sort. Atma means what? Deep sleep state. We simultaneously exist with form, without form also we have been existing. That is why we remember we slept nicely or we did not sleep properly. We did not have a good sleep. Everything is because of registrations only we come to know it through memory. So memory is always open. Even no impression is registered here, but computer doesn't register unless its keyboard is pressed. Whereas this bioorganic memory, even deep sleep is a display of past registration. Okay. If you have slept nicely yesterday, that was a registration. Past registration only has again played through you. Whatever you have sown, that you have been reaping. Everything. Good sleep, bad sleep, neutral sleep, good day, bad day, neutral day. All adjectives in verb as well as nouns. Everything is our past. That is what this bioorganic hard disk. Get this? So take sincere interest, do these 15 sessions. Next week we'll meet.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Bye.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji.